Justin. It was 25 plus years ago. That's
Crazy.
insane to think about.
Time flies.
How
Sure.
is that possible? How am I not 25 years old right now? I don't get it. What the hell happened, man?
You remember the story that I told you, I don't know, 6 months ago when you used to do my taxes for me?
You were crazy, bro.
One of us was, anyway.
I'm not too sure how I was doing your taxes. But hey, welcome everybody. I am a big believer in speaking what you want in life. And about 2 years ago, I started speaking that I was going to build a team of real estate agents. And we were going to do everything in our power to build a group that understood that you have to build passive income inside of real estate. You have to own property, whether that's, long-term rentals, short-term rentals, whatever it is, whether that's commercial buildings like my good friend Daniel Ing, whatever it is. But I don't want to build something. I'm 55 now. I'm going to go hard. And I don't want, if you join my team and you're 25, 30, 35 years old, I don't want in 20 years from now, you don't have something to fall back on. All right. I do, because I built a model just like this in insurance. I know the power of it and I know what it can do for your life. And so I started speaking, I'm going to build real estate agents. And lo and behold, my good friend Brian Clark comes into my life. He's a real estate investor. I believe did he close on his $4 million building down there in Naples yet? Do you know, Justin?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. It's coming close.
I know he was. I know he was working on something big last time I spoke to him. So that could be what you're talking about.
So he comes into my life and says, "Hey," and I said to him, "Hey, let's go. I want to build and I want to teach people to do what you know." Brian's made a great deal of money in real estate, and he said, "Let's do it." Right. And so I just kept speaking and then Justin Pirtle reaches out to me, says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm doing real estate." And we had a good laugh about that. And we said this. I told him this is what I want to do. And he's already very successful in real estate as a real estate investor. And I said, "Hey, what would you think about getting your license and joining my team?" And because what I've learned is that, like, Brian Clark and we went down to this investment seminar in Naples. And the guy that was speaking, ex-football player in the NFL, had great success in real estate investing. He's purchased, tons of quads, duplexes, commercial buildings. I forget how many rental properties he has, but it's a lot. I forget the exact number, but it's a bunch, right? And so he's successful as a real estate investor. However, he is building a hierarchy. Okay, he has a platform that he sells, and it creates a passive income for him for a hierarchy. Okay, you look at Pace Morby, he's doing the exact same thing. He's building a community to where he has people out there doing things, and he receives revenue from that. Okay, Kiyosaki said one of the best ways to make money is through, he called it, multi-level marketing. Now, what we have here is not multi-level marketing. It has a lot of similarities. However, it's a little bit different. But Kiyosaki even said it, and Kiyosaki's made millions doing other things. The guru that tells everybody to live out of their envelope, the finance guy, he's, what's his name?
Ramsey. You talking about Dave Ramsey?
Dave Ramsey. Thank you, Dave Ramsey. He is even building a hierarchy. Okay. And he also owns a lot of property. He's a real estate investor, as well as he has tons of IUL insurance products. So my point to all this is we have an opportunity here, thank God, with the eXp and what Glenn Sanford has built, to build another passive stream of income. And we're already in the best business in the world, real estate. Bar none, the best. Then you add the fact that we can build a hierarchy just like Paces, just like Ramsey, just like everybody, right? And we get to duplicate our efforts. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. So my good friend here, Justin, we call him Pirtle. Pirtle's very successful as a real estate investor, right? In fact, my man, I just bought a house unseen, sight unseen, because Justin said this is a good deal. I was like, I'm in. I'm done. I don't need to hear anymore. You're good at it. So I bought myself a house in San Antonio. He connected me. He's well connected. He connected me with an incredible general contractor, which I love the way she speaks. It's a female, which fired me up because she uses words that I like. She doesn't just say, yeah, it's a house and it's got a this. She goes, the house is really cute. I was like, all right, now I'm fired up that I just bought this house sight unseen and you're calling it cute. She says it's a great investment property. I said, yes, okay. And so, in the way she's telling me, she's taking down the kitchen walls to open it up to the living room, the way she speaks, the way she said. So Justin's very connected all the way down in San Antonio to where I'm confident to say, yes, I can buy a house down there. He's also got the hard money lenders. He had everything set up, ready to go. So Justin, why did you get into real estate investment? And because you were in the corporate world, you walked away from I want to say 8 to 5, but we kind of worked 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. back.
I wish it was 8 to 5, right? So in terms of the why, for me, it was, and I didn't start, so I'm 48, and I didn't start even really thinking about investing in real estate until I was 40, which was when I finally made the decision to do it. And I don't know. I think I think I just got maybe anxious or nervous to the fact that, if the company has a bad day, a bad year, regardless of how successful you might be as an individual contributor or successful you might be as a leader of individual contributors, things can change on a dime. And what happens if that changes and the income goes away? Am I just going to get back on the hamster wheel and trying to find something to make ends meet? And I don't know what it was. Something finally clicked that, look, I've got to have multiple streams of income, passive income, tax advantaged passive income, to really feel comfortable. And financial independence is, it's not unique to me. It's not, not unique that, I longed for that. Probably we all, long for that at some degree. And so, I made the decision to at least invest in learning about it before I really pulled the trigger and taking a leap of faith, if you will, with going that direction. But through that, I've learned, similar to what you kind of said to open the call, that real estate is absolutely the best asset class that there is. And I made major changes. And again, I'm not pretending to be a financial advisor. I'm not pretending to be a CPA. I'm not pretending to be an attorney. So I hope nobody takes that from this call. Just talking about some of my own personal experiences. But I took the jump of completely, once I learned about all the ways that real estate could help me. Man, I cashed out my 401k that I had for years upon years upon years, and just because I knew I could outperform the market, and I was going to be fine. So I think that's what ultimately what drove me to it, is just the fact that I knew, to truly achieve financial independence in terms of what I viewed as financial independence, I needed to have those multiple streams of income. And for me, it was through real estate. I still think that's the best way to achieve that.
Yeah. So he cashed out his 401k. I love stories like that.
Yeah.
God, I love stories like that.
Yeah,
So he's a wealth of knowledge, and he's spent a lot of that 401k money on investing in your self-education, all that, right?
Say that again. I missed you on the.
You used a lot of that 401k money for investing in yourself, correct?
I did. Yeah, and I had, outside the 401k, I had a little bit of a savings nest egg that that I was using, but I joined a real estate investor mentorship and education group. And this particular group was really more focused on buy and hold, rental properties from the passive income standpoint. And then from there, it just blossomed. I went and after I joined that group, after I had bought several rental properties of my own, I became invested or interested in investing in flip homes and went and taught myself how to do that. I joined another mastermind group to learn how to flip. I went and joined another mentoring group to learn how to be a private lender and to learn how to talk to private lenders and to learn how to build a stable of private lenders. So it just kind of blossomed. But yeah, I used part of that to invest in myself and knock on wood, everything that I've done, every mastermind that I've joined to this point has paid itself back, multiple times over. So it's been good.
Beautiful. So now I said, hey, why don't you get your license? Come on board. Let's build a hierarchy together. And you said yes to that. Why did you say yes to that? Because you're already successful in real estate investing.
Well, yeah. So two things. For one, it goes back to the streams of passive income. And after you and I talked a little bit, and I learned a little bit about what eXp was all about. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. So
it's all right. Don't worry about it.
You hear that. After I learned a little bit about what eXp was about and what somebody could actually achieve, it checked the boxes. I mean, if you think about being able to earn passive income, let's just look at a realtor that is not investing, right? The ability to earn passive income by doing what you do on a full-time basis. I'm not aware of anything like that. I mean, think about our days back in Martin Fletcher, and the physician recruiting aspect of it. I mean, there was nothing we couldn't do that. We couldn't earn streams of passive income or revenue shares or anything like that based on that business model. So that was extremely attractive to me. Again, whether it's real estate, whatever it is, if you're interested in something outside of real estate, if you've got the ability to earn passive income, that's what sets you up for financial independence. The second part of that was over the last 8 years of investing in real estate, both on the buy and sell side and working with a slew of different realtors. Some were good experiences, some were not so good. And so it was partially my experience with realtors that said, I can do this far better. I know that I can. And so the ability to help other people along with myself in my own business and still earn passive income through a revenue share. I mean, my gosh, what more could you ask for?
That's what I saw too. So this model is very similar to where I made a lot of money and sold a company. And so when I saw this model inside of real estate, I was like, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, this is a dream come true. Because I had this like outside perspective coming in, but coming into a business model that's almost identical to what I was in before. And so therefore I was like, okay, here we go. Now I just got to find the right group, which I did with Daniel and his incredible people. And just being able to come in here and say, hey, I understand the business model side. Let me teach that to everybody here. And Daniel says, yes, please tell everybody. And if I can add value there, will y'all then teach me the real estate side? You explain to me what a realtor is. I don't get what a realtor and a real estate. I don't understand like garbage. Tell me what it means. And everybody with open arms, Justin said, we would love to train you on that. And they have. Everybody has. In fact, today I went to Daniel's office to meet our Texas broker, one of our Texas brokers. So if you're inside the state of Texas, we have 11 brokers that represent and take care of people like me and Justin and everybody else on the team. And they're actually hiring a 12th right now. And so I got to meet him and I just got to ask him questions. And lo and behold, he's excited about this co-sponsorship and him and I can build together. I said, so let me get this straight. I can cold call because I love cold calling. I'll cold call for anybody. If anybody comes in here with a specialty, I can cold call for you all day and would love it and will build for you. So I said, let me ask you this question, Sean. I can cold call for you and talk about how, I'm buddies with one of our Texas brokers, right? And he wants to build and he's going to represent and train you and teach you and all that. And he said, yeah. I said, dude, I'll do that for you all day. I love cold calling. I'll have fun with that. And so, I mean, just the ability to work with everybody inside the organization. Now, what the culture that we're building here with Brian and Justin with this real estate investment, mindset. If you're to join our business, say, hey, I don't want to be on the real estate investment side. I want to be on this side. Well, cool. You can be on our team, but you can also be trained by someone else in a different organization. How cool is that? So this model is so simplistic. All right. Now, I told you the exact same model in my old business, and I'm gonna train you the exact same way I talked about it over there. All right. You go out and you invite 12 people. You've got 12 friends. I know you do. Okay. And you just invite them. Say, hey, I think you should join this platform. I want you to talk to Paul Roberts. He'll tell you more about it. He built a business just like this and sold it for 7 figures. He can help you. Okay. He can teach you this business model. And if they're already experienced in real estate, well, then guess what? They can teach us. They can help us. So they can help me, I should say, not us, me, right? And I love when I cold call Justin, I tell a real estate agent, hey, listen, tell me your experience. And they go, I've been doing this 3 years. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. The first thing I get to say is, hey, full transparency. I am new to real estate. I can learn a lot from you. And when I say that, they get closer to me like, okay, wait a minute. This is a team. This is collaboration. This isn't, I'm your boss. You listen to what I tell you to do. No, we're doing this together. We're building this bad boy together. And so I get to say that to people and it works. And so so get you 12, invite you 12 and say, hey, listen, I just want you to meet Paul Roberts. Melvin's doing a phenomenal job of that right now. He'll call me up and say, hey, send me a Zoom link. I got 4 people. We're going to jump on tomorrow at 5:30. Does 5:30 work for you? I say, yes, it does. In fact, I say, yes, sir. 5:30 works. He's got 4 people. And every time he does, he's got 4 people, right? And so all he's doing is leveraging myself and getting them in front of me, and then I talk to them. So you get you 12, and I promise you that 12, 4 of those are going to be crazy. 4 of those are going to see exactly what Justin saw, exactly what Brian saw, exactly what I saw, exactly what Angie saw, exactly what we saw, and say, wait a minute, this is going to be huge, okay? Because I want you to think about this. I'm gonna say your name. Everybody's on YouTube right now, so I can't see people's names. It's so weird. I'm not used to this. So I'm gonna use Noel. I know Noel's listening right now. So Noel, you hire me, right? Now I shouldn't say hire. You invite me, and I join, and then I grab Justin, and Justin joins, and then Justin grabs Brian, and Brian joins, right? And now you've got me, Justin, Brian, and then Brian brings in Amelia, and Amelia joins, right? There's 4. And then Amelia brings in Shannon. Now you got 5, okay? Noel, as you are, taking care of your kid, doing the things that you love to do, you're making money because someone in that in that group of 5 people is doing a transaction, okay? They're doing a transaction. Therefore, you're making you're sharing the revenue from the group. Okay. Now you're not taking anything away from anybody else's revenue. It's their revenue. But the way eXp has it designed is you get a piece of it, and it goes down 2 more levels. Imagine what could happen, right? And that's just one deal, because Justin could break off and go this way and hire 3 more over this way. And one of these 3 could hire 10 and go this way. I've done this exact same model, and that's how it works. And you ain't got to do all the work, Noel. You literally brought in 12. 4 of them are nuts like me and went crazy and started building and just started inviting everybody. I shouldn't use the word building because we're not really building. We're just inviting, okay? Invite them to our culture. Let me get in their head with my 12-week coaching program on how you can't quit. Let me get in their head over how you got to work on your self-image and your self-worth. That's what's holding you back, not the X's and O's, not the meat and potatoes. Okay? Not the nuts and bolts. What's holding you back is let me work with them on that, and all you got to do is invite. And you will create this massive machine. This is the best model to build an asset in the next 2 years. The best. I've done it in insurance. I'm going to do it here. So I'm telling you, jump on board with me on this inviting thing, because you will be more than happy over the next 2 years. It'll freak you out what you can do in 2 years' time, right? But it just takes inviting and inviting and inviting. Don't get worked up on the numbers. Don't get worked up on, well, what am I going to make here? What am I going to make there? You just keep inviting. I put my head down and I just kept inviting. And I'm doing the same here. And the model is beautiful. And on top of that, we've got Daniel. Okay. Daniel is one of the most serving people I've ever met. And he will go out, he will go far and beyond helping you and your team, whether they want to learn commercial. I've got a brand new agent that's wanting to learn commercial. So he's putting her with the right people and teaching her how to do that. Because most agents, when they get into real estate, I want to do commercial one day. Well, commercial, you better have about 2 years of savings if you're going straight commercial. It's going to take a bit of time. If you don't have 2 years of savings, I would not start off with commercial. Good news. You can learn it now, because we have one of the baddest partners in the world, Daniel Ng, and what he's created with Calvin and Colin, right? Amazing. And then above him, we got James Wong. He was the original president of the commercial division. He stepped down from that so he can build an organization, but he gave his time to eXp. And then above him, we got Tom Trong, who's got over 3,000 people, and he's out of Boston, Massachusetts. Like, if you know people in Boston, just say, hey, I want you to meet Tom Trong. Done. And your team starts growing and growing and growing. We now got people in Peru. I want to go to Belize. I want to go everywhere, right? Why not? It just makes sense. And you don't have to manage every single little thing. If you're a broker trying to do all this, you got to worry about payroll. You got to worry about a big one that's sneaking up on everybody these days, lawsuits. Okay? We have the best attorneys in the world, the eXp. I ain't got to worry about it as a broker. I'm not a broker, right? It's all handled for me. We have an internal legal department that takes care of us and keeps us on track and keeps us going. But if you're an independent broker out there sitting there, you're one lawsuit away, and it don't even have to. It can stay in litigation, and you're one lawsuit away from losing everything. Here, all I have to do is smile and bring people in and invite them, and I will create a huge mess. And in 2 years' time, you're going to say, wow, you did it. I know. I want you to join now and say, wow, you did it. Like my man Justin did. Just like, okay, I see. Now, Brian, he's got the same background as I got. So when he saw the platform, he's like, oh, wow, we can create a mess over here. I said, yes, we can, brother. And I've got a few more like Noel who understand it as well. So incredible opportunity to go crazy and with investing, because I think we have the best of the best with Justin and Brian. Justin loves to share his time. He loves to help. He's going to build a massive organization over here. We're going to help him build a massive organization over here because he gives his time to us. And it's going to be fun. And then the same for Brian and same for everybody. So good times. What questions do you have, Justin? Just, getting started thinking about what to do, all that stuff. What are you thinking?
I wouldn't say it's so much that I have questions, but what I'm thinking about, just, as an investor coming into the world of being licensed and how I can take advantage of that. Not selfishly, but even in my own business. I mean, I transact a lot, right? So it's April the 14th now, and I think I've done 4 transactions this year. And so one of the things that excites me the most, which I have not been able to do up to this point, is being able to, as a licensed realtor, being able to also take advantage of my own transactions in terms of compensating myself.
Yeah.
On especially on the buy side. And you and I have talked about that a little bit in the deal that you're currently in San Antonio. And so it just blows my mind about the various ways to, and creatively isn't the right word, but it's just it's the adjective that comes to mind for me about thinking about my own business and now what I'm even able to achieve above and beyond what I've already done, even in my own business. And for I don't know who all is out there, or if there's anybody even out there that even would want to consider focusing on working with investors like myself. I would encourage you to do that. Selfishly, I would encourage you to do that. I mean, I think that even thinking back on probably the first 10 to 15 deals that I did, where a wholesaler brought me the deal, I automatically turned around and went to an agent that I trusted and said, "Hey, I need your help, for one, to double check my numbers, but also protect me. I want to make sure I'm not doing something stupid here." The agent, of course, got compensated for that. So you think about if transaction volume is what you're after, being able to understand and how investors think, what are the buy boxes for them, being able to evaluate deals. I think transaction volumes will exponentially go up for somebody that cares about that. And then on the flip side of that, if you have an interest in investing yourself, what's cool about this team is that we have the resources available to teach you how to evaluate deals, whether it's a flip, whether it's a rental, how to evaluate it, how to cash flow from it. Also begin to also build up a stable of private lenders to be able to stay away from banks. Favorable terms for me as an investor, but also favorable terms for the private lenders that I'm using. Again, it's a phenomenal way to make money, which is what we all want to do. And again, from the multiple streams of passive income, it's fabulous. So not so much questions right now, but more excitement about what's actually possible.
Mic drop. Yeah, that's good. And what I look at when I envision with you, Justin, is because right now you're pretty busy doing some flips. You're pretty crazy busy. Imagine you got 300 people on your team and they're all doing transactions. So you got a passive income coming over here while you're focused a lot, because flips take a little bit of your time, right?
They do, yeah. They do. It takes a little bit of my mind share day to day, but
Yeah, so that's taking that, but you got this incredible team over there, and you have no idea where your team's going to grow. That's the cool thing about these types of hierarchies. Think about it. Tom Chong's in Boston. What one day, I mean, he barely even knows me and Justin, right? Think about that. And I'm about to do a transaction next week, and he's going to get a piece of that. He's all the way in Boston. Now, I mean, he knows me now, but he didn't at first. But you see what I'm saying? He didn't envision, okay, I'm going to build here in Boston, Mass, and one day this crazy guy from Dallas, Texas, who doesn't know how to spell real estate is going to join my team and blow up, right? He's going to bring 1,000 of his own people. Whoa. That's what happens in these types of hierarchies. I've watched it. I've seen it. It's incredible. It'll blow your mind because you're not doing all the work. Tom didn't bring me in, right? Now, Tom brought in someone that brought in someone that brought in someone that brought in someone that brought in someone. Okay. But Tom's not training me. I'm not calling him and saying, "Hey, how do you sky slope, bro? How do you do this? How do you do that?" His time's way too valuable. I'm not going to bug him with that type of stuff. He's too important to ask him that type of stuff. So think about that. So I envision Justin, knocking out, 5 flips, and then him and Nikki saying, "Hey, let's go to Belize for 2 weeks." And he's still making money and still making money and still making money. And that's what I want for everybody. I've been living that world for 20 years outside of real estate. It now exists in real estate with eXp, and I'm going to shout it from the rooftops. And if you don't want to join, I'm gonna go shout to somebody else. You might want to join now, because I'm gonna eventually get to you. I'm gonna have one person bring one person, bring one person, bring one person. We're gonna keep going. So thank you so much, Justin, for joining the team, and thank you so much for everything you're teaching us. It's incredible, the fact that and what's funny is, like, my wife didn't even care. I was like, "Hey," Justin said, we got to buy this home. You didn't say we got to, but so Justin's offering to kind of give me something that, you know, is right there on the table for the taking. He probably would have taken it had he not had Fort Worth, Louisville, and Waco going on all at once. And we get to step into this. And Tamara didn't even, she's like, yeah, do it, do it. And what a blessing that you now get to be part of that. To say, hey, Justin, I'm thinking about this deal here. And he said, yeah, and let me run the numbers. Let me make sure it makes sense for you. And that's who we are. And we got so much more than that, but that's just who we are in a whole. So reach out to us. Oh, Brian's got a good question. How can I buy a rental property or flip with minimal cash out of pocket? How do you do it? Real quick before you answer that. If you wish to win a I Can't Quit t-shirt, comment on YouTube. Leave a comment on YouTube while this is live, because once it's done being live, I'm going to take care of those are the people who are going to be in the drawing. And I'd like to send you a free shirt because my book's coming out May 1st. Shameless plug. Sorry, Justin. Back to you. So how do you, Justin, buy a rental property or flip with minimal cash out of pocket? How do you do that?
So there's a number of ways, but I would tell you if you're first starting out, become very well connected with a hard money lender, because they will be your best friends in terms of the amount of leverage that they provide you. My business, specifically, what I typically look for are distressed properties that I can do some renovation on. You know, create some equity capture, force appreciation of the value of the property. If it's a rental property, of course, you know, refinance and lease it out and move on. But without getting too deeply into the woods, hard money lenders are basically short-term lenders that will provide you lending based on the asset, right? Based on the house, whether it's and they evaluate flips and rentals a little bit differently. But there have been deals that I've done with hard money lenders where I literally come cash out of pocket, you know, $0 cash to close when I close on a property. And based on the percentage loan to value and all that kind of stuff, it makes it very easy after you get the renovation done to refinance it. And same thing on the refi side is that there's really very minimal cost out of pocket. So number one is make friends with a hard money lender and learn about those specific requirements. The other thing is to start talking to people. I mean, I still to this day, I always look for money resources from private lenders. It was not something that I was great at 8 years ago. I wasn't confident about it. I didn't know how to talk to private lenders. But I can't tell you how many people there are out there that have more money than time. They have more money than knowledge about real estate and are looking for better and safer returns than what they can get in the market. And what we are doing is that we are helping these folks achieve double-digit returns that outperform the market day in and day out with a safety blanket. It's secured. Their investment is secured by real estate. I give them a deed of trust. We put a promissory note in place. So you have all the right paperwork that helps these folks secure their investment, which they don't get by investing in Apple or Tesla or you know, NVIDIA, you name it. And so that's with the little bit of time that we have tonight. That's learn about hard money lenders, start to talk to them, start to develop relationships with them, and talk to people about what you're doing. You know, I've got a small network here locally to me that, you know, over the last 8 years, they've learned about what it is that I'm doing, and some of my other buddies are now involved in it, and word travels, and they will come to you and they will ask you, hey, the next deal that you get, I want a piece of. I want to be involved in it. So continue building your money resources, and again, reach out to myself, reach out to Paul. I've got all kinds of documents and templates available that will help you talk to these lenders. And you won't sound like you're brand new. There is absolutely nothing wrong with sounding like you're brand new. I think there's actually something admirable about that, as you know, as a lender myself, and helping others or coaching others to speaking to private money lenders. But Brian, I don't know if that answers your question, but to those that are interested in rentals and flips, develop relationships with your lenders. Talk to folks about being, potentially private lenders, and then bring your deals to us. I'll help you underwrite them. Paul will help you underwrite them. Brian will help you underwrite them. We'll tell you if it's something that you should stay away from or not. I can't tell you how many newer investors that I've spoken to over the last 3, 4, 5 years that they bring me those deals, and they're so excited to get their first deal. And when we plug the numbers in, try to remove the emotion. I mean, right out of the gate, it's a deal that loses money. And so those are the types of resources that you need. Those are the types of folks that you need on your side. So, yeah, Brian, I don't know if that answers your question, or Paul, if that answered Brian's question, but it's about the lenders, honestly.
Yeah, he said you answered it, and Justin has taught me how to be a lender. So yeah, that's cool. And when you join our community, like Justin was saying, we actually have a community that we're building out right now. There'll be like a tab, Justin Pirtle, and you'll have videos done by him that he can teach you stuff. And then you're going to have another one that's going to have Brian Clark and a picture of him and how he's a lender now and how he's also investing in big buildings and buying, college campuses, dorm rooms and things like that. Then you'll have Angie will be in another one, and she'll be talking about how to, train people and become a mentor and use KV Core and all that. So we're building out a platform as we speak, but that's just all part of being part of the community. Brian said, awesome answer. So it's definitely a community that you want to be part of if you want to go that route. I'm just thankful to God above that He has put these incredible people in my life. It's exactly how I built my old business, by the way. I had this one crazy dude by the name of Michael. He came in and said, "Hey, we need to set up a training program," and he set it up. And this is before, Zoom and before everything. And he had these little cartoon characters, and it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. It was way before its time, but thank you, God. He just put all these right people in my life. I know how to build. And I want to teach you that. I want you to stay focused on a 2-year plan of building, while at the same time you get to learn about real estate investing, while at the same time you get to learn how to do transactions, while at the same time I get to teach you how to build an asset. It's a win-win-win-win-win. And we're going to have a blast doing it. And we're going to have 1,000 people on this team shortly. And it's going to be fun. And I hope you're one of them. Justin, thank you for your time, my friend. You're always giving to us. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you. And again, not a better leader I'd prefer to be associated with. So I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Y'all have a good one. Go get yours. I'm getting mine. Thank you for putting "I can't quit" in the comments so I can put y'all in a drawing to give y'all a shirt. Adios.